Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to learn how we can get notifications from GitHub on our Slack channel, right? So what we are going to do is basically we are going to build a system where we will be getting notifications from GitHub on our Slack channel, and in order to achieve that functionality, we will also be using Google Cloud Run. Okay, so Google Cloud Run, it is a compute service. It is a serverless compute service, meaning we do not have to manage the server. Okay, we will just write the code and the code will run. It is a fully managed service, and you can also use any other service apart from the Google Cloud Run. You can use Amazon EC2 or Google Compute Engine, App Engine, anything, as long as it is reachable to GitHub and Slack by a external IP address. So what is needed? Firstly, you will need a GitHub account, obviously, since we will be getting the notifications from GitHub. Therefore, GitHub account is needed. And then what we need is we need a Slack account because we will be getting the messages on Slack, definitely. And third thing that we will be using is Google Cloud Run. As I said earlier, we will be using Google Cloud Run for doing the processing. So what will happen is that on the GitHub account, we will create a GitHub webhook. Okay, so GitHub webhook, it is actually what it allows us is it allows us to uh, get messages from events. For example, uh, GitHub webhook, basically you can have different events. Whenever an event is triggered, for example, a commit is generated or a pull request is raised or a issue is created and you want to do something whenever that event happens, then you can make use of the GitHub webhooks. Okay, so what we will do is basically we will use a specific GitHub webhook, which is create PR, meaning create pull request. Okay, so let's go into the webhooks and create webhooks. And over here, let's somewhere it should be webhook events and payloads. Here I want to search for create create pull request. Okay, so pull request is over here. Okay, so for activities related to pull request reviews, we can have pull request review, pull request comment, and availability for pull request, repositories, organization, GitHub apps. Okay, so whenever a pull request is assigned, I don't want to search for assigned, but I want to search for created, uh, assigned, auto merge, disabled, converted, edited, enqueued, opened. I think opened is same as created. Okay, so whenever a pull request is opened, that means it is created. I will have access to all these different things: action or an enterprise, installation number, organization, pull request, properties of pull request, and the sender. Okay, a GitHub user. Okay, so I will have access to the sender thing whenever I will have open pull request. So what we will be doing is, firstly, let's go to GitHub, and on GitHub we want to first create a repository. Let's just call it Slack notifications. Okay, so and what I'm going to do, let's just also create a README. Okay, so now we have this repository. Let's go to settings, and here we want to have a webhook. Okay, so where can we have a webhook? Here, let's add a new webhook, and it's asking for payload URL. So payload URL means the URL where it will be sending the webhook event. For example, whenever a new PR is created, where should it send the message that a new PR is created? So we want to have that address over here, right? So this will be the address of our service that is running using the Google Cloud Run. So let's also go to the GCP console, which is console.cloud.google.com. Here, let's search for cloud functions, and we have the cloud run functions. Okay, now I'm going to create a new function, and this will be an inline function. Um, let's call it Slack gh notifications. Okay, and I'll deploy it in Asia South, uh, which is closest to my location, and I will be using Python. Let's select Python 3.13. Allow public access so anybody can invoke this. And let's I think we are good for now. So let's create this service. Okay, so the service is getting created. Meanwhile, we can have a look at this. So it is already created, and this is how the service looks like. Let's click on save and redeploy. And the service is getting deployed. And here we also have the URL. So I'll copy the URL and let me paste it over here. Sorry, this is just a placeholder holder, meaning this is not deployed yet. Once it is deployed, we will see something. Here we have two files. The one is the main.py and the other one is requirements.txt. The requirements.txt file, it contains all the dependencies for our Python code, and here we will be writing a single function that will get executed. Okay, so let me just name this function as okay, so this is done deploying. If I refresh this, I'm seeing hello world. Okay, and the code, it says that I am taking the request arguments like name, and if name is there, then just send hello then name, otherwise hello world. Okay, so if I do something like question mark name equals to Saurabh, then it says hello Saurabh. Okay, uh, nice. But let's just call it send notification. Okay, I'll call it send notification, and we all also have to update the entry point over here. Okay, and what I'm actually will be doing is, firstly let's copy the URL and send this paste this URL to the payload URL. Okay, and here the content type will be form data or application JSON. Let's get it in the form of form data. Enable SSL verification, meaning the URL is going to be HTTPS URL. Just the push event. Which event would you like to trigger this webhook for? So I want to trigger this only when we are raising a new pull request. Okay, so let me just pull request. I'm seeing a bunch of pull request related things. Okay, so this is a huge thing. A pull request assign, it is getting edited, labeled, log, milestone, open. So it will run for many things. Okay, so the webhook will get triggered for a lot of things in this case. That's fine. We cannot have more granular control. Uh, Still fine. Okay, this will get triggered on a lot of different events. For example, when a pull request gets assigned, it will get triggered. When it gets or the pull request gets closed, then it will get triggered. And whenever logged open, it will get triggered on a lot of different events. And I want to have the pull request open functionality only, but since we cannot have more granular control, let's just make it a more generic one. Okay, so this will get triggered on those pull request uh, related events. Okay, so now the webhook part, this is done. um, Here we can have the request thing, and let's see how it looks like for the opened functionality, pull request open functionality. uh, So installation number, organization, pull request, properties of pull request URL, def, commands, number, state, locked. Okay, so we have different type of arguments that actually tell us what is happening to this pull request. For example, if the merged field for the pull request uh, field for this webhook, if it is true, then that means this pull request is actually getting merged. Okay, so mm, let's also search for opened. Okay, so not over here. Web, uh, web pull request opened action. Okay, so the action thing, I think this is going to uh, tell us what is actually happening to the pull request. For example, let me get turn it to assigned. So when it is assigned, the action its value is assigned. Okay, but when it is edited, the pull request is edited, then the action is going to have value edited. Okay, so when it will be opened, the action value is going to be opened. Okay, understood. Now let's cache the detail inside this pull request. Okay, so let me just clear all of this, and since we are sending the webhook as a form data, what we are going to do is we are going to use request.form and .cat, and basically let's just firstly we can print this whole thing, right? And this is okay. So let me just deploy this function, and request.form, it is going to print out that thing. So the form data will get printed on the console, and the service is getting deployed. Okay, let's go into observability, and I want to have a look at the logs. Here we can see logs in much better way by clicking over here and opening the logs explorer. So most of these logs, they are for the deployment only, and let's go over here. Okay, so it says that the service failed to build. Let's see what the issue is. Hmm, failed. I want to see the logs why it failed. Hello world. Oh, minor. So it was a silly mistake. Let me go again to the source and edit the code. It is not a single comma. It is not a single. It is double quote. Okay. So here you can say the build is active, and it is actually using cloud build under the hood for building our serverless cloud run function. Okay, so this is getting built, and hopefully it is not going to take too much time. Okay, so it is completed, and the latest build, if I reload this, the latest build should pass the cloud build. Okay, so this is this is not the latest build actually. This is a particular build, and the latest build is this one which is passing. And here I can also see it is everything is green. Okay, so I want to have a look at the logs within the logs explorer. And what I have done is basically whenever someone let me go to the code once again. So whenever someone hits this endpoint, what should happen is that it should print the request form and return hello world. Okay, so if I go directly, then nothing is going to happen. Okay, so because there is no form data submission, so I click this endpoint. I entered this URL, and here, if I go into the logs explorer, then I will see that there will be no form data getting written. Right, the form data, it is immutable multi-dict empty because I'm not submitting any form data. But I know if the webhook is going to be triggered, then it is going to submit the form data to that URL. So it will be getting triggered whenever we will have anything related to the pull request. Okay, so what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to open this code in a uh, I'm going to open this code in code spaces. Okay, and from there what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to create a pull request so that I can see the form data. Okay, so this pull request, I'm going to firstly I'm going to create a new branch. Git checkout dash b new branch, new branch one. Not a creative name. This is change from new branch. Okay, so this is all that I have to do, and I'm going to commit the changes. Okay, so I have updated the readme. This is the, and what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to raise a new PR. So what I'm going to do is basically git branch and git push origin, then the name of the branch, which is new branch one. Okay, so now what I can do is I can create a new pull request. Docs update readme. Let's call it, and let's call the title as first pull request. That's all. Okay, so I have created a one pull request, and let me go into the logs explorer once again, and let's see what happens this time. Okay, so here I can see that I'm getting immutable multi-dict that has the form data. Okay, so the payload, it is actually a string. So the payload is actually a JSON string. I need to first convert it into JSON. If I look at the action payload action, then it is opened. Okay, because we have opened a new pull request, and then there is the extra information regarding the pull request and everything, right? And somewhere there should be sender information as well. So the message is truncated because it is not complete message, and copy as JSON. Let me copy all of this data, and let's paste all of this data over here. And if I search for sender, then I can see that there is also some sender information. So sender, then there is login and avatar URL, etc. This is actually JSON that is formatted in the form of string. Okay, and all of this is part of the payload. So let's go into the code, and now here is the code, and now what we are going to do is get the payload, which is basically request.form.get payload, and most probably payload is not going to be empty. So what we need to do is basically we need to firstly parse the payload. So json.loads payload, and for that we need to import JSON. Okay, and within the payload, if payload, let me go to the webhooks docs, action payload action is, if it is what is the value opened. Okay, so if it is opened, in that case what we are going to do is basically we are going to have two cases. If the payload action is open, then what we are going to do is we are going to get the sender information. So sender name is basically, this is going to be payload dot get action dot get. So this is just error handling. I don't want to have the key error, so that is why I'm doing it like this. So there is a sender thing, right? A GitHub user is a sender, and I've already pasted it in the over here. So sender is going to have a login thing. Okay, so sender is going to have a login field, sender and then login. Okay, so here is the code action. The sender is actually payload.get sender, and then within the sender we are going to have the login, and this is actually the sender username, username. So what we are going to do is basically we are going to for debugging right now, we are going to just print the sender name raised a pull request. Okay, so otherwise what we are going to do, we are going to print something happened with pull request, but definitely not open. Okay, so let's just deploy this. Okay, now what we are doing is basically we are just getting the sender name, and that's all we are doing right now, and we will be printing it on the console to check that we are correctly grabbing the sender name from the form data that we are receiving. And what more can we get from here? The repository of the GitHub where the event occurred, webhook payload contains the repository from actively in repository, and then with the pull request. Okay, so within the pull request we have URL ID, node ID, HTML URL. Okay, so we also have the URL for the pull request. So I think we can also make it a part of our message that go check it over here, the complete pull request. Okay, and what more can we have is comment number state tells it is closed, or so we can have the title. Okay, and what is the user or properties of a user? So sender is the person who has created the GitHub pull request. What is the meaning of user over here? Okay, so we can get the assignees and everything. All right. Here what we are going to do is let's grab the body uh, and the title for the pull request, title and body, and we are going to get both of these, title and body, from the pull request, title and body. Okay, so meanwhile it is actually deployed. So right now what is happening is we are getting the sender username if a new PR is raised. Otherwise, it will say that if something happened, but definitely a pull request is not open. So when we do something with the pull request, except for except for opening it, for example, let me just merge this pull request. Okay, now we are sure that something has happened with the pull request. But definitely it is not open. So let's go to the logs and see what it says. So something happened with the pull request, but definitely not open. Okay, so this is what it is saying. Now what I will be doing is check out new branch 2. So I'm actually I'm creating a new branch, and I will be creating a new pull request, and this time I will be opening a new pull request. Okay, so new branch 2, and what I will be doing in this branch is I will be adding a new file. Let's just call it feature.txt, and let's just say added a new feature, and let me commit the change. Let me also push the branch. So what was the name? Is it new branch 1 or new branch 2? Let's just check. It is new branch 1 actually, I think. It pushed new branch 1. That's not a, I have to first say origin. Okay, so now I have the pull request. Let's go to GitHub and see if I have. Okay, so actually I'm not getting a notification for a new pull request. Let me do it manually, and what I want to do is I want to merge new branch 1 within the main. So let me just create a pull request. So this time I opened a pull request. Okay, so let's go to the logs again and see what happens now. So it says Saurabh Mehta 089 raised a pull request. So definitely this time it is showing my username. Now let's go to the code. So we have the sender username and raised a pull request. And what we are going to do now is basically we are going to have a message, and message is going to have some information that will be sending to Slack. Okay, so what the message is going to be? Message is going to be it's a multi-line string, and the first line of this message is going to be the first line says that the particular user has raised a pull request, right? And the second line is going to show the title, and where are we going to get the title from? So the title is actually a part of pull request thing. Okay, and it is part of the pull request thing. So let's go to the code and payload.get pull request, and within this I have to get the URL thing. No, oh, sorry, the title thing. Otherwise, it's similarly we want to also have the URL. So the URL is also going to be coming from pull request thing and URL. And what more do we want to have? Let's also have the body for the pull request. Okay, so it's the same thing. Instead of URL, it will be body this time. And let's just have the body after the title. Okay. Now the message is going to be the sender raised a pull request. And then title is going to show the title, and body is going to show the body for the pull request. And then we are going to have some space, and then we are going to see the complete pull request at then the URL. All right, so let me print this whole message. Okay, so this is what we actually have in mind. This is what we want to send to the Slack. Let me just deploy this once and see how it works out. All right. Okay, so the service is getting deployed. Uh, from the sender, we are only getting the login, which actually gives us the sender username. Okay, updating service. We will be get done soon. Okay, so the service is deployed. So let's create one new PR. Let's also check the existing. Let's merge this PR, and this time we are not opening a new pull request. So I'm not expecting to see. I'm just expecting to see something happened, but definitely not a pull request open. Okay, so something happened with pull request, but definitely not open. Okay, so this is printing over here, and what will happen if we actually open a new pull request? So let's also go here and let's create a new pull request. This is a bug fix. So what I will be doing is, firstly I will be creating a new branch, and let me just call it new branch 2. Okay, and let's commit the change. Git commit -m. This is a bug fix. Okay, so let me also push this branch. Okay, so the branch is pushed, and if I go over GitHub, then I should be getting a notification. Okay, so it says it has detected a new branch. Let me also create a new pull request. Okay, so the pull request is created, but actually I forgot to provide any description for this. Fix this is a bug fix, and this is a title. Fix this is a bug fix. Let's go to the log explorer and see. Sort of method raised a pull request. Title fix this is a bug fix. Body it is none. See the complete pull request at this URL. Let me copy this and let's enter this URL, and it has actually the pull request, but it is in the JSON format. So this is not exactly what I was expecting. Let's see what the HTML URL is for. It has given me the pull request, but it has everything in different format, JSON format, which I don't want. I just want the HTML view. So I think that the HTML URL will give me the right um, URL that I want to show the user. So this should be actually, let's edit this code once again. And this time this is going to be HTML underscore user. And let me also update it over here, HTML underscore user. Okay, let's redeploy the service. And now we are going to create third pull request. So let's go to the code and this time let's go to the readme, and I'm just deleting everything in readme, and let's commit, call it refactor, remove unused code. Okay, so let me, actually I did it on the same branch, new branch too, no worries. Let's just push this branch. We will manually create a PR, git push origin new branch 2. I think there's a dash comma 2. Okay, so let's go to the pull request, and over here let's create a new pull request, and it is from new branch 2 within main. And actually we already have one pull request, so I don't think we can create another without merging this thing. And this is a bug fix. Let me try to do it once again. New branch 2, and we want to merge it in main, but it's there's nothing to merge. So let's create one more change, one more PR, git checkout dash p, new PR, changes for new PR, and let's commit all these changes. Let me push the changes. Now we have pushed the changes, and let's create a new pull request. Okay, this is my new PR with latest changes. I don't know what to write in body, so let's create a new pull request. Okay, and meanwhile I think okay, so actually we did a mistake here. What happened is the build failed. So firstly we have to fix the build. F string single is not allowed, HTML URL F string single. So there's some issue with the formatting. Let me go to the source code once again, and HTML URL. Okay, so this is the issue. Sometimes you do make silly mistakes. Let's deploy this once again, and sadly we will have to make another pull request. This time I'll but let's wait till this application gets deployed first. Okay, okay, so the build is complete. there was no issue with the build, so it will definitely get deployed successfully. Okay, so it is successfully deployed. Let's go to the this thing and let's say latest PR, and let's create a new file. Let's call it branch new branch 3, and let's add the changes. Let's push the branch. Okay, so we have new branch 3. Let's create a new pull request. My super cool pull request. This is the body of the pull request, and let's create the pull request. Okay, so let's go to the logs and see if we are getting everything as expected. Okay, error and exception on post. I think this is early log. This is not from right now. HTML underscore URL. This is not defined. Okay, let's go to the code once again and see. Oh, we did make a mistake. So this is HTML URL, but here it is written as URL. So sadly, once again, we will need to redeploy this thing, and hopefully this time it will run. So that was a runtime error. Runtime errors are hard to catch compared to the compile time errors, and if we would have developed this application locally, definitely we would have had faster time, but then we won't have a external IP address or external domain URL that we could give to the GitHub webhook for getting the event. Okay, so the build, let's see when it is. So the build is complete. That means it will get deployed. So this is, let's say it is version 1. Git checkout dash b version 1. So this is actually dash b version 1. Git add git commit dash m add version 1. Git push origin version 1. Go to the code, and here we will merge this version 1 PR. The title is PR for version 1, and this is the PR for version 1 of my app. Okay, so let me just create this PR, and this time let's go and see the logs. This is the PR for the version 1, and this time everything is, we are seeing the title, we are seeing the body, here we have the username, and one more thing is the pull request URL. So let me just copy this URL and see if it is the right URL. Okay, so this is exactly what we need. Okay, so this is good, but now what we want to do is, we do not want to log this on the console, but instead what we want to do is, we want to send this message somewhere else, right? So we want to actually send a post request to the Slack app, where it will get post it, right? So what we need is we need a Slack account. Okay, so now let's get a Slack. Let's go to the Slack and okay, so let's go to the Slack and here you need to have an account, and I already have an account. But what I want to go is connect your apps. Okay, so here you can create and connect to an app. I don't want to create with any app. What I want is I want to create a Slack app by myself. Slack API. So you need to search for Slack API, right? So here what you can do is create a new app, and what I'm going to do, create from scratch, and what I'm going to name it, this is my PR notifications, my GHPR notification, and select a workspace. So on Slack you have different workspaces. So I have real world dev. I will select this workspace and create this, and okay, here I have my Slack app. One thing that I want is basically I want this Slack app to be able to be called from my, I want this app to be called from my Google Cloud function. Okay, so I need a URL. So that is something I can get from review submit. Where can I get from work? Agent, app home, manage distribution, collaborators, install app. So install app. So you can do it like this. Uh, what should I search for? Slack slash commands. No, I don't want incoming webhook. Yes, this is what I need. So let me turn on the incoming webhook, and then I will get the webhook URL for my space. Add a new webhook. Uh, so my GHPR notifications. So this is going to have notification within different channels. So let's see what I have. So I already have a. Let's add it to the general. Okay, so you can have a separate channel where you want to have notification. For example, having a channel by the name of GH notifications is going to be great for your use case, right? But I'm getting the notification in the general channel. Okay, so here I have this URL. Okay, so what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to provide this URL to, instead of printing this, what I'm going to do, let's edit the code, and we are going to use one more package request, and since we are using new package, let's also add it to the requirements.txt. This package is used for making API request. So what we will be doing is request.post. We will be making a uh, post request to the URL, that is Slack webhook. URL is going to be this one particular URL. So Slack webhook URL, and other thing that we want is basically what we want is we want to provide the data, right? Pip requests post request. So I want to use this package and I want to make a post request. Okay, how can I IP request.post? Okay, so the data is like this. Okay, so I'm going to send the data like this. So data equals to our data, and actually it has two things. The text field is going to be this message field, because when I'm sending the post request to this particular URL, it is expecting a text field that contains whatever the message that I want to post on that particular Slack channel. So let's click to save and redeploy. Okay, let's wait while this gets uploaded, and we can also open our Slack channel, right? So that we can search for, we can see the messages in real time. Let's go to this workspace, and we actually selected the general channel for posting the messages. So it says Saurabh added an integration to this channel. GHPR notification, good. And let's go to our application. This is done deploying. Okay, so let's create a new PR request. This is PR in Slack. Good, checkout dash p. Let's call it version 2. Git add dot git commit dash m. Done. Git push origin version 2. Okay, and this time when I will be creating a new pull request, let's see what happens. Oh, okay, let's open GitHub here and go to the Slack notifications. Here let's create a pull request, and this is my PR. This is the version 2 of app. Okay, and let's create a pull request. Okay, so we are done making the pull request, and let's go to the Slack channel and see what happened. So see I don't see a message over here. Let's go to the source, and it is done deploying. Let's also look at the logs. Okay, so this is my cool PR. This is the version 2 of app. Okay, so it is actually printing it on the console, but when I go to the Slack channel, where is it? I don't see anything. Okay, so on the Slack, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so let's go to the Slack. Post request. Incoming webhook. Yeah, this is what I want. Create a Slack, enable incoming webhook. Okay, so create an incoming webhook, which we already did. Services hooks. Okay, the URL is shiny new one specific. Use your incoming web to post a message. Text. Okay, and the content type needs to be set, I guess. Okay, so let's go to the code, and in the general, I'm not seeing my GHPR notifications. Let's go to the source. Over here, let's see Slack webhook URL, which we are providing data. The text is actually the message itself. Okay, request.post, and let's also add the headers. see if that's gonna make any change. Application slash JSON and request Python docs headers. Let's see how we are. Params is payload. Content type. Okay, so content type header. Data is json.dump. Then this thing. Okay. Our code will not add the content type header, so okay, so it has another argument which is called JSON. So if I pass it as a JSON, then it will automatically set the content type as HTML application JSON. So I can either add the header, or what I can do is that instead of data, I can just say JSON equals to this thing. So the text is a message, and I have added a select URL. Let's do it. Let me also check once again this URL is correct or not, which I can do very easily. I can just open the console, and URL1 is, I can say URL1 is this thing, which I have. Okay, so somehow I'm not able to paste it on the console for checking if it is the same. I have other options as well. I also have Python installed on my system, so I can use it for that. URL1 is this thing. Okay, so I just want to say check. Let's go to the app which we created, and the URL2 is this thing. If URL1 is equals to URL2, yes. So I haven't did any mistake in pasting. Looks like we are done deploying. So let me create one another PR. So this is maybe final PR. So git checkout dash p version. This time let's create a version 3 branch, and git push origin version 3. Okay, so version 3, this is body, and let's create a pull request. Okay, so a new PR is created, and now I'm seeing something. Okay, so Sorameta089 raised a pull request. The title is version 3. This is body, and you can see the complete pull request at this particular URL. Okay, so finally we are done. Whenever you are raising a new PR, you will get a notification in your Slack, right, with the title and the body, and you can, I think you can also format this. Let's create one more PR. Checkout dash b, let's call this as final, and this is final change. git add dot and get commit get push origin final. Let's merge this. My super fancy PR. This is the body of my new PR that adds cool features. Okay, so now let's create a pull request, and the pull request is done. And if I look at the messages, I'm getting this message. Saurabh Mehta created a new Saurabh 089 created a new pull request. The title is this, the body is this, and I can see the complete PR at this URL. Okay, so now we are finally done with this particular functionality.